Minecraft 1.20 is out, and what's the first thing you do in this update? Wrong. First thing you do is craft chisel bookshelves and replace all your looms with these bookshelves. And replace some of the bookshelves that you already have. But unfortunately, I have no books to put in those bookshelves, but we'll come back around with that. And now, what's the second thing you do in this update? Wrong, because the second thing you do is craft a brush. And now, what's the third thing you do with this brush? Wrong again, because you gotta enchant this brush with Unbreaking 3 and Mending. So now what do you do? Well, you start exploring your world. Hello everybody and welcome to Winter World. This is episode 2 of my Minecraft survival world, where in this episode we're exploring the brand new 1.20 update, and we're going to be building brand new structures over in my farming area. Well, let's get to it. I first started off by going far into the nether to explore brand new chunks. I spawned in the cave, but it was not a problem as the cave led into an ocean. And as we came out of the ocean, we immediately found a desert temple. I first started off by exploring the brand new area that was added in this update. We immediately found our first suspicious sand and our first pottery shard. Then I went down into the secret area where we opened our first chest to find nothing special, but the second chest to find the enchanted golden apple and the 2 dune armor trims. There was nothing else in the chest, so I continued back up and continued being an archaeologist, and found another pottery shard and more pottery shards. After that, we went out of the desert temple to find a village, which had one of the best mobs added into the game. Strapped a saddle on him and started riding around the desert village. But it was time to say goodbye, as we still needed to explore this update, but we will come back for him one day. We found a pillager outpost and immediately found our second armor trim, the sentry armor trim. Oh, dude! Oh my gosh, you gotta love it. You just gotta love it. We found a sniffer egg! Dude! Oh my gosh, dude, this place looks amazing. Okay, I'm not gonna gather the wood. I just want to gather the saplings right about now. What the? What the heck? Dude, this is so cool. Bro, what? After all of that, I found a few ocean monuments, killed 30 elder guardians, but still did not get the tide armor trim. We found a few shipwrecks, but this was the first one to have the coast armor trim. And luckily, when we found our first jungle temple, we found the wild armor trim. Ruined trail. Okay, hopefully this one is not a scam like the last one I found, so And what I meant by that is because this was my second ruined trail, but due to my lack of knowledge of this structure, I did not know that you had to mine down to actually reach the rest of it. So I left this one as well, as this did not continue the way I thought it would. But after that, I made my way into the nether to retrieve the rib armor trim, the snout armor trim, and the smithing template. I found our first bastion, which just provided me the smithing template. I went on to find our second bastion, which just provided me the snout armor trim. And after searching for hours, I finally found the rib armor trim on our 5th nether fortress, making this armor trim one of the most time-consuming armor trims found in this journey. And after finding this armor trim, that was the nether completed. I went out of the nether and went in search for the stronghold. I'm not really sure. I have no idea how to navigate these things. But we're not really looking for a portal. We're just looking exactly for the library. Nice! Easiest armor trim we've gotten so far. And this is everything we got from our exploration. It might not be everything from the 1.20 update, but it is everything for now as we will continue to explore in this world. I want to duplicate the rib armor trim because this armor trim was kinda the hardest to find and I spent so much time in the nether. So I'm gonna use this one, duplicate that, and add this to my armor right now. Doesn't really stand out much because of the glint, but we can fix that. It's kind of more blue than purple. Let's try to find a way to fix this. Now that's looking a whole lot better. The rib armor trim is really nice, but I honestly would have loved to have the tide armor trim just because of how many ocean monuments I've raided in this world. But we're gonna have to see that another day because right now I want to focus on the next build in this world. We're focusing on building an apiary, greenhouse, and a windmill all together in one. Where are we gonna build this? Well, we're gonna build it in this area right over here. I expanded on this land and this would be the perfect area to put the apiary, greenhouse, and the windmill. But first, we need to make an outline for it. And we also need to farm this right here because in the greenhouse, I want to put a giant cherry blossom tree. Not really that big, but a big cherry blossom tree. I think that's the smallest amount of framework I'm ever gonna do in this world. This is where the greenhouse is gonna be, and over on this side is gonna be the little apiary area, where over on these parts we're gonna have the beehives. It's gonna be a manual bee farming area, and of course in the middle is where the cherry blossom tree is gonna be. It's not as tall as I would like it to be, but I think it's gonna turn out way better. Yeah, not having a mod like Medica, everything I do from this point is gonna be winged. Especially since the ocean monument transformation was also winged. Yeah, everything here is also gonna be winged. And over here is where the windmill is gonna be. I'm also gonna have it act as a lighthouse. It's gonna be a lighthouse windmill kind of situation up in here. So yeah, but let's start with the greenhouse by filling in the first layer. The first layer is now in, and now let's move on to the pillars. I think that's gonna be the last part of the frameworking because for now I want to build the cherry blossom tree that's gonna be right here in the center. So let's start building it. Now that's a good looking cherry blossom tree. I used dark oak instead of the cherry blossom wood because dark oak just looks so much better. When I was looking through concept art, dark oak just really was the wood I had to go for. Now we are going to continue doing the interior of this place, but for now I want to focus on the walls. And as for this area, we are going to put the bees in, we are going to get to that, but for now we need to focus on building up the walls. But this looks so cool. Look at that. Well, that's the exterior part of this whole project complete, and look at this. Wow. Just decided to add the little poppy over there. This was completely inspired by ArtStation, which is a whole fantasy type of greenhouse, and this came out a lot nicer than I thought it would. But the interior, yeah, we need to work on the interior and add in the bees and add in the new pots that have been added to 1.20. Okay, let's do the interior. And with the interior complete, I want to focus on the windmill. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how the interior looks, but for now, I want to focus on the windmill. We're going to start off with the whole structure. And that's going to be the first part of this windmill. I kind of went for the tower design because I kind of like the tower design for this whole part of the area. And because if there was gonna be a house, I don't know what it was gonna what the interior was gonna be like. So I would rather have this tower right here. But what's missing right now would be detailing, and this kind of looks bad. I thought it would look a lot better if it was terracotta, but I'm gonna change the terracotta. But this is the general shape or the general look of how this tower is gonna be. But right now what's left is the windmill, so I think we should try to add in that windmill. And there's the windmill with everything completed except for detailing for probably windows, but I don't know what other detailing I would add to this. But this is so awesome, a windmill and a greenhouse in this area. I've always wanted these two things in this world, and this just looks so awesome. I love this. I might actually change the entrance because it doesn't really look good from afar, but the poppy in the middle just looks so good. The orange and yellow on the sides and the orange and yellow in between the poppy, that just looks so nice. And the actual lime green glass around the greenhouse, that looks so good. And the windmill. So let's take a little bit of a fly around just to look at the top of this. I kind of went with this design. This whole building, this whole structure is kind of like my own type of design, but the gradient of course was inspired by YouTube, so yeah. The gradient's not mine, but also the windmill's not mine. I will add a photo onto the side of the windmill I took and whoever owns that windmill. But yes, I just love these type of windmills. Instead of a straight type of windmill, the curved ones are just super cool, and it kind of fits the whole vibe of this world. And it was also like a fantasy type of windmill. We have this gradient as well. Oh my gosh, it just went in so well with the terracotta and the granite and the mud. This is so good. Let's look at it from afar again. We have this path right here, and we're still gonna build the path all the way to the greenhouse, but just imagine just coming around here and oh, that is so good. Oh, I love this area. Oh wow, this is perfect. So for the path, we need a path that's gonna connect from this side that connects to over here. I already did start, so I did already start with the path on this side, but it's not really all connected. Yep, so I still need to build in the path. But I think it's also gonna cut off somewhere here where it goes down, because yeah, this is a whole different level towards the door, so it's not really gonna work out if this was on this level. So we're gonna put that down, but I think it's time we put in the path that's gonna connect the greenhouse and the windmill. And the path to the greenhouse and the windmill is now complete. And now we can take that path by going off to the side. And let me just say, this turned out a lot better than I thought it would. We have the brick barrier right here, little vineyard of glowberries which are going to be manually mined, some flowering bushes right here, some glow lichen underground for lighting. We got the tall flowers which seem to be glitched. Huh. Okay, I did not realize that. Why are they like this? Wait, what? Okay, those are broken. We can hear the bees inside, but we're gonna look at the bees right after we look at this side. I'm kind of happy on this, how this area turned out. We have this little area right here and this area right over here. And let me just say, I like this. This looks so good. But the path goes all the way around until it connects all the way back up to the main path. this is just a path that goes off to the side, and now we can look at all of this at night and also in the sky. Ah, just look at this area. Just look at this. Wow. I never expected this area to look so good. Like, everything I've done in this world has been winged. Everything I've done in this world has just been winged, and I never expected this place to look like this. This path is just so awesome. Okay, now taking you inside the windmill, we have a little milling area. I don't actually know what it's called, but this is the area where you put in your crops and, well, where you put in your wheat and it just creates dough. So that's why we have this windmill. And honestly, inside there is no interior, so we're not gonna dabble on the interior aspect of this whole thing. But enough of that. Let's actually go into the greenhouse. And as we open this door, and we are met with the apiary area. Now we have the little azalea bushes just hanging off the ceiling. And then we have the bees around here, the pink petals on the ground, and the pink tulips. And this is mainly gonna be my manual bee farm, or my manual honey farm. As you can see, we have the campfires underneath there. And yep, this is the apiary area. And now let's go into the cherry blossom tree area. And this area turned out so good. Now we have the decorated pots in here, but this is mainly all the shards that we had. This is mainly all the shards that we've collected and all the designs that we've collected. And this is going to be mainly where the plant type items are going to be located. So we have the vines, which are growing and need to be trimmed. I'll get back to that. And we have the nether stuff here, the mushrooms. This area just looks amazing. Oh, just look at this. Wow. This is a vibe. This is definitely a vibe. So far, everything is not really complete, but we will complete it on a later date. Especially the windmill. The windmill actually needs to be completed on the inside. But I think we've done enough for today. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and thank you for following me along on this journey. And until we meet again, peace, love wins, and goodbye for now.